All right, welcome to another episode of Free Code Friday. I'm Jason Bach. This is episode 11, I believe. And last time, I had started working on this EditorConfigGenerator project. I've changed a couple things around since the last episode. I did just a little bit of work offline and did some cleaning up of where the things should be and putting them into namespaces. I might change these. I'm not really thrilled with statistics and data, but it works. So, by the way, I had statistics, and then I think the type was statistics, but that really didn't. It really didn't translate well. That really didn't work that well. I'm going to call that data. And this should actually be also data. Because if you have statistics at the end of the namespace and then you have a type within it called statistics, it can get weird, for lack of a better term. So I changed that. Let's just kind of be a little bit more consistent with names here before I get out to testing. That's what I want to do in this episode, is just do tests, get some tests written around the stuff, and then that should be it, and I'll do more stuff later. Alright, so if I remember right, I've got all the goodness here, so let's get to it. Get my stuff in here for boolean data. One thing I just realized recently is that you can have your classes be static classes and all your methods be static if you're doing a test fixture. I don't think that was the case before, and I'm almost 99.9 whatever % sure that you can do this now. So for most tests, you don't need an instance of the class. I don't do like setups or teardowns, hardly ever. So for what it's worth. And this is actually almost getting to be feeling like XUnit in a way, because everything's just a fact. But and I have my kind of own way of writing tests. People do BDD, people name things in a certain way. By the way, I am tired. I want to get to bed early, so I have my glass of Brooklyn Brown Ale. I tend to find that I like brown ale beers more than others, so yeah. Okay, so what do we want to do? We want to say var new boolean tests. Why can't I? Oh, not. Yeah, that. Okay, why would you? What is that temp file? That was just weird. Okay, never saw something like that before. Okay, I thought I had. Yeah. So this is public boolean data values. Oh, boolean data values. Oh, yeah, it's named wrong. There. Now this should pick it up. Cool. Okay. So now what I want to do here is something that I try to follow all the time when I write to. Man, that's just bizarre. It's like showing all of the temporary files, and I don't want them or want to see them. Strange. Very strange. Anyway, let's see if it's smart enough to do this. Nope, it isn't. I have a library out here. Now it references called Spackle. It's a little library that I've used on a bunch of projects. I believe it's 1.6 standard, yeah, so it should work. Though I don't like that it's using the system value tuple. I'm actually probably going to want to go back and change the Spackle project so that it's updated for .NET Standard 2.0 and has a little bit more goodness in it. But what this does is once I figure out what I have here for my arguments, true occurrences and false occurrences. Not that. Not that. 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 And then one more. What I try to do in my tests is if I'm setting up data, I try to make them random. And the reason why is because if I made them all ones and I have a mapping issue with the data that's in boolean data's constructor, then I may not see it. So I tend to make them random. I could have just made them 1, 2, and 3, and that would have been fine. But it's just kind of a pattern I've fallen into. And old dog, new tricks. I don't want to be taught anything tonight. I just want to get stuff done. So we're going to say assert that data dot total occurrences is equal to total occurrences name of data. False. And we got our first test to pass. All right, we are rocking. So, with Boolean data, there's the update. So we want to do a method with updating. Now in this case, I want to be a little bit more careful. This one I actually, since I know that test is taken care of, well, the problem with generating random data is if I want to run it again, what was the data? You know, so arguably what I should come back up here and do is print out what the values were so that I don't end up having issues like, well, if I run it again, what does it look like? You know, some way to regenerate that data, but that's fine. In this case, I don't really care about that. I know that my inputs are good, so I'm going to just make that 1. Actually, I want to do something that's a little bit real life, which is 3, 1, and 2. Of course, it's barking because those need to be uints. And you know what? I really don't need to even do that. I can do this. Just say 3, 1, 2. Of course, there it's okay because now it says that. And now I want to say data dot update with true. Now assert that that is equal to 4. True occurrences should have gone up, so that should be 2, and then this should stay 2. Okay, so we're going to say update with true. and update with false. Now in this case should be 4, this should stay 1, and this should go 3. My tests. Alright, cool. So I think we got good coverage on that. So let's see what happens when we do styles. This one will get a little harder. The reason why it's going to get harder is because I actually have to do some parsing. Now I need some new boolean data, right? So we can say var data equals new boolean. And this doesn't matter. Actually, can it? I just feel 7.2-ish. So I'm just like passing the default value. I don't care what it is, so no matter what. Then I can just pass in data here, and I can assert that style.data is same as. I don't care what equal. This should be exactly the same. And then assert that style.setting. Now this one I'm going to want to go back here, because this is a hard-coded string. It would be nice if I had this as a constant, and it just so happens that this property returns a constant. So then over here I could refer to that, but it would also feel weird returning a constant here, and it just so happens that it lines up that those two values are going to be equal. Which one do I do? Let's just do this for a second. Make sure everything runs. Ooh. Expected. Oh, same as data. That's why you write tests. Okay, cool. It is exactly the same as that one. Okay. This leaves me with a feeling in my mouth, but I can't. Putting a constant in either is just not like. Is that big a deal? I don't know. I'm going to leave it as is for now. So what else can I do to style? I can update it, and I can update it with a syntax node. So this is where we're going to start getting into all sorts of fun. Actually, this is making me feel like if I do a new boolean data, it might make sense to have like one here that's protected data where you're not passing in anything, because you're just saying, hey, I don't, you know, well, I can see here saying public boolean data. And then that's just going base is default. Yeah. And so the point of this is that it's just here's to make a new one. So let's actually put a test in for that. What did I just do? Create default. Var data equals new boolean data, and then I want to assert that is equal to default. It does look, I mean, I have to admit, this does look weird. The first time I saw this in 7.2, it felt kind of odd because, well, I know it's going to be, you know, like a 0U. That actually is the uint, right? Yeah. But here I'm just saying, I don't care. I know it's supposed to be the default value, so that's what it should be. Okay. So let's just go with that. Oh, let's have a update with var declaration. I'm just going to get that out of there for now. And then we'll have one update with type declaration. And then we're going to have one that has diagnostics. Now how I'm going to pull that off, I don't know yet, but I would like to do that path. Okay. So now they should run. I'm going to test that pass. The person out there would say fail. You should do that right away because these are failing tests, right? Whatever it does say. Well, what are you barking at me for about this? Oh, expression body for members. But, you know, these aren't passing tests. These are failing tests. You've got to make them passing. Well, then delete the code in there and then it passes. Test-driven development or test-first development or these types of ideas, I think are actually good when you start doing unit testing. It starts making you think a little bit more of the tests that you need to write. But I've done unit testing for 15 years now. And it's something that I want to write the tests before I commit a feature set or something like that. I don't want to check in code that I don't have tests for. That's bad. But I don't necessarily write all my tests first. And again, that's a personal preference and it's work for me. And some people don't want to do that, but this is what I do. Okay. So why are you not? Really? Did not expect that. Oh, because it's that's not what. Okay, mistake made. I thought that this was a generic, and so it should, like, somehow it figured out, well, what I'm passing in over here is a uint, so what you're saying is it equal to a uint, and that's not how it's working. So my bad. I actually literally have to say here, but I could say default of a uint. Yeah, then I'll be explicit and not saying 0. It's just whatever, and I know it's a 0, but you get, okay. So now they should all pass, and they do. Okay, so let's come over here to test one. Update with var declaration. So let's do this. Now style should be style.update with a null node. Well, I never did that, right? I never put a check in here to say, hey, if no is equal to no, throw. This is a new. I usually would never put a one-liner if here because I want braces, but I'll put braces here because I always put braces around anything with an if, even if it's a one-liner. There. Just to be defensive because I don't know if I'm going to get something in that's null, and it should not be null. So let's actually write a test. Update with null. So in this case, we're doing that. And then I want to say assert that. And then we'll do this, style.update with a null. Throws type of argument null exception. There, okay. Run all that. Actually, this one failed down, yeah, because I haven't, that's what I was reading. Okay. What is the name of that? Is it Syntax Factory? Why does it sometimes like not act? There it goes. Parse. There's a parse compilation unit. I can do parse expression. I can do parse syntax tree. Produce a syntax tree by parsing the source text. I think that's probably going to. So if I say var tree is equal to. Is it an expression or a statement? I think I could actually say parse statement, right? Because I could say var x is equal to 0. And that's a statement, right? But now what I want to do is I want to find, go back to my handy dandy syntax visualizer here. What I'm really trying to find is a variable. Now I want to find a local declaration syntax, right? Because that's what I'm passing in to this. Local declaration syntax, yep. Okay, so go away. So what I want to find now is our local declaration is equal to statement child nodes where you could probably do a type on this, right? I could say get type. And just say, is that equal to type of local, but that's doing types and stuff. That's why I think the raw kind is here. So if I say raw kind, I thought there was a kind thing. Yeah, there is. Oh, where kind is equal to syntax kind dot local declaration statement. Okay, but what I was doing here, I was only seeing raw kind. Oh, I was just missing it. Okay, and then I don't need to do this. There. I think that's a little cleaner. I like that. I knew there was a kind. I just couldn't. I wasn't getting it last night. It's because it's not a property. It's a method. Okay, so, and I'm gonna say single here because there's only gonna be one. Or there should only be one. And then pass that into this. And now what I should say, oh, local declaration statement syntax. Yes. Okay, so that passes that in. I can now say assert dot that style dot data, and actually we're going to want to grab let's just pass this in because I don't want the data name used here. I want to use it down here. I want to say var data is equal to style.data. Assume that data dot total occurrences is equal to 1u okay, then couldn't I just grab this from the boolean data tests? Yes, I can. This should be, if I really, these really should be used. Yeah. Be explicit. These are being used. Okay. So the number of true occurrences should be 1, and the number of false should be 0. And then do the same thing with a type declaration. So in this case, let's say int, and then this should be reversed. This should be 0. This should be 1. Now let's let these fail, because I'd be surprised if this works the first time. Never works the first time. Yeah, it didn't. So, yeah, how did it fail? Sequence contains no matching element. Okay. What actually comes out of syntax factory? Parse statement. Oh, it is a local declaration. Oh. Well, hell, that just made my life easier. I didn't realize that. I don't do any of that crap. Though I do have to say it is a as local declaration statement syntax. And then there's no variable there, so I just do this. How nice. I gotta remember to do this as a var. Yes, nice. That worked. Cool. I'm very happy. All right. How much time do I got left on this one? Almost done. Let's see if I can do the diagnostics one. This one might be a little harder. Can I say statement dot with add? I can say contains, but I can't actually get it to. Let's try this. I'm going to do this in the debugger first because I'm not sure what this is going to, if this is actually going to have diagnostics or not. It does. Okay, cool. So then this, Okay, so let's yeah, we want to stop debugging. So this actually does exactly what I want it to do. Except I want to go look at that. And if I say diagnostics, it just return what I have, and basically saying it's going to be all default of a uint. In other words, boom. And I got all my tests to pass. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Sweet goodness. All right, so let's put in, we got tests around first, data, and style. Okay, and we're going to do the last thing. I know I'm running over my time, but obviously I have no concept of that. I do have a README. Let's make sure that my README, actually something I want to create an editor config file based on styles that already exist in your code. That's what this project is all about. Good enough for now, because I want to publish this. I want to publish this so that I'm not going to lose it ever. Because right now this has just all been happening locally on my machine. And that's okay. It's time to push this through. And I never noticed that I have my line numbers showing up. Why do I have line numbers showing up? It's probably been like this for all the episodes, and I'm like, I never used to have line numbers showing up. Oh. Love quick launch. Control Q up at the top here. So yeah, okay. So I've got a git ignore. And this actually has an editor config, right? Editor config. It actually git ignore license readme. Okay, cool. So let's publish this puppy. Organization. No, it's not going to be another one of those. Keep this code private. No. Publish. And now people are just going to be, just forking it left and right, right? Let's come here and say, because I'm paranoid. Yep. Editor config. Cool. All right, so I think this is a good place to stop. We have tests now around the two things I've created, and they actually seem to be working the way I thought they would, which is good. I was actually able to create the tests without a lot of pain. It didn't take that long to do it, and because of that syntax factory parse statement, it made it really easy to do. In fact, it got me exactly where I needed to go. So what I want to do next time is put in the visitor and see if I can start ramping it up so that it can actually generate based on a CS file or syntax tree you give it, and figure out should it be the style on or off, and just kind of ramp this up. What I also want to do with just this one style that I have right now is run a bunch of projects that are out there, like Grab, Autofax, Codebase, Angle Sharp. When I did my tabs versus spaces project, I picked like 9 or 10 open source projects in .NET that are very popular, and I would just didn't care if I could compile them or anything. I just wanted, successfully, I just wanted to parse the code. And that's what I want to do here. I just want to parse the code. And so use those as kind of guidelines to see what happens when I actually run the tool against it. So once I get to that point where I'm giving it my actual console app a list of solutions and have it generate a file based on all. So it doesn't base it for every solution it gets. It just says here's all your solutions. Here's one editor config that comes out of it. Once I can get to that, then I'll start blasting out more of the styles and start trying to knock those off one by one. So that's what I'm going to try to do next time. Add the visitor, start parsing, actually generate the content that would be in an editor config, and then start throwing some solutions at it and see what happens. So thank you for watching. If you got any comments or questions, put them in the comments section. Otherwise, hope you watch my next episode. See you later.